Hello and welcome everybody to another night of Vigilante racing here at Daytona. Looking for those high-speed plate action racing going on here. I'm actually in the middle of ready to handle something real quick, but I'm going to hand you off to our proud partners, Alan English and Adam Turner. I'll be back here in just a second, and we will take a live look here as these trucks start to go into qualifying here in just a second.
Yep, I'm Alan English, and what a great night of racing we got in store for you tonight. 100 laps here at Daytona Oval, the super speedway, and in for some really exciting pack racing tonight. And joining us, as always, down on pit road is Mr. Adam Turner. How you doing down there, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, this is basically it's like running a half marathon. This is a half run at Daytona, 100 laps, 250 miles in trucks. It's going to be sweet. They do have the incident point limit. If you get over 17X, you're going to be disqualified. 70% fuel, 2 fast repairs. It's a huge field. I don't know what you think's going to happen, but I think it's going to be kind of a. They need to be patient. That's what all I got to say. Just be patient. You know, it's not time to take over the world in lap 5.
Yeah, going 3 wide. You know, in the first 20% of the race or so. I mean, that's kind of a ballpark term, but you really don't want to push it early. You want to wait until it's, you know, coming down to crunch time before you start taking those kind of risks and putting all the drivers around you at risk, because in pack racing, as we know, one mistake, you know, guys can't check up in time, and this isn't Talladega. You know, Daytona is not quite as wide. The racing surface between the outer wall and that double yellow line is not near what it is at Talladega. So something else for this race, Adam, and we may get to talk about this some as far as the strategy goes, but we got a tire set limit in this race. It's 5 sets of tires.
5 sets of, man, I hadn't seen that. They keep changing the rules on us over here.
I think they had that last week too.
Did they? Yeah. That is interesting. You're right. They did have a tire limit. Tire limits are cool. They're something a lot of leagues don't do. I think it makes the strategy even better.
Oh, I love it.
5 tires is plenty, but if you flat spot a tire here or there in a wreck or something, I mean, you could be in trouble near the end. You always want to have that extra set, kind of just sitting there waiting. Yeah, I think it's cool because the extra strategy, you know, team strategy, fuel strategy, tire strategy now, you know, obviously track strategy.
Well, let's talk a little bit about fuel strategy, because I know that was something you wanted to hit on too, because if these guys were running 100% fuel, you're looking at 35 lap pit window here at Daytona Superspeedway, but these guys are running 70% fuel. So if you take pencil to paper, or calculator in my case, take my shoes off to do the math, you know, you're looking at 21 to 25 laps. And then you're going to start looking to come down. If these guys are too wide, you know, you're going to have some guys maybe get stuck on that outside lane, not able to get down, because we're going to see a lot of too wide racing here tonight. I guarantee you that. But and that's just dependent on green flag laps too. If these guys get some cautions, you know, you're going to see some guys come in and make some pit stops under caution. But I would not rule out any green flag pit stops, because talk about this, Adam. They do manually thrown flags here. If there's 1 or 2 trucks, they're not going to throw it.
Yeah, I could see this thing going all the way. Green flag the whole entire way, just because of that. You know, iRacing will throw a flag almost on everything. Here, it's going to have to be a pretty big wreck for you to get a caution thrown. But we are at Daytona. There's bound to be at some point, you know, the big one. But if somebody spins and goes down in the grass, we're not going to have a caution. We're going to keep going, which I kind of like. You know, it keeps the pace of the race, keeps these guys engaged. It's not fun for the guy that might, you know, lost lap by going in the grass, but hey, that's business. There's time to catch up later. We got 100 laps. I mean, 5. What do we? If you were doing the math, we would technically you could go almost four pit stops here. Or are we talking 3 to 4 pit stops here?
You could, if you stayed green and conserved just a little bit, I think you can make it a 3-stop race.
Yeah.
But that's really stretching. I think you could do it, especially if you're not leading the line. If you're running 70% throttle behind somebody for the majority of your laps, yeah, I think for sure you should be able to save enough. But if these guys aren't practicing, if they didn't practice any green flag pit stop in here, they should have been, because if there's any league around that can do it, run flag to flag, it's Vigilante. These guys have done it before other places. I think they even did. I don't know if it was here at Talladega. I'm pretty sure they did a flag to flag in this league before on a super speedway, but it's hard to dodge the big one. There's 30 cars going to be gridding today. What do you think? Do you think that's going to have a tremendous impact on whether or not these guys can go the distance?
It's going to have some impact because it's pack racing. Somebody's going to get greedy. Somebody's going to make a mistake, and it's going to cause some issues. Or it's just going to be genuine racing there at the end. But you know how these guys are. Not talking about Vigilante. I'm talking about drivers in general. There's always that need to race, to be a plat. It's competitive nature.
There's a cowboy in every crowd. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, so there's somebody's going to get a little wild here and try to make a third line, and but that's why we like this stuff. It's fun. Sometimes it works, most time it doesn't. But hey, at least somebody's willing to risk it and make the race fun, right?
One thing we might even see later on too is, when you got 2 established lines running, and somebody gets desperate, they can swing in between those 2 lines and side draft back and forth up their way, up to the front. We've seen that happen before, and especially with these trucks. The draft package on these trucks is ridiculous. I mean, they can really suck up fast to the trucks in front of them. They draft really well. I mean, it's like a shoebox punching a hole in the air right in front of you. So, but you can really side draft on them hard. You can put a lot of air on the back spoiler of the machine next to you and really take away his momentum.
Well, I mean, momentum is the key here. You lose any momentum, you get pulled out of that draft too. So it's another thing. You want to stay in that, at least close enough to that front pack to where you can, do some damage at some point.
I was watching the Daytona Monster Energy Cup race the other day, and they had Clint Boyer on there stealing some of your lines. I heard him say something about, you're losing your dancing partner and stuff. I said, man, Clint's been watching Turner getting tips. But anyway, that's the case here. I mean, if you end up pitting by yourself under green, you're going to be hard pressed to be able to pick up somebody's draft, especially if there's more than 2 or 3 trucks running together. Even if you're able to jump right in behind them after you get up to speed, it's really difficult to pick up that draft.
Yeah, and without a doubt, I didn't see Clint use this one. I'm sure he's watching tonight, so he will. This is the type of track where you can go from chump to champ in no time, and vice versa, right? There's nothing scarier than leading the Daytona 500 on that last lap, because chances are you won't be leading it at the end.
Well, and we've seen that. That's the case almost every time we see a Talladega race, right? Because, that tri-oval way before the start-finish line really makes a difference, and you can really get a run and ruin somebody's night. But here, you can damn near do the same thing. You can even run on the outside here if you've got a little bit of help, and win a race on the outside line. So it's going to be interesting. We've got a long ways to go before that happens. We've got 100 laps, and we've got looks like about 3 more minutes and some change on the qualifying session. So we've got Ricky Wittenberg out there running his lap right now. Let's look and see what results it looks so far. I've got Albert Anderson 1,000th of a second in front of Ricky Wittenberg. That's for the pole. So America's driver, the number 2, Albert Anderson, with Limitless Esports, he'll be starting on the pole if nothing changes. We have a few trucks still left that have not taken a lap. They have not put in a time quite yet.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, I wouldn't put one in unless there was a penalty. I mean, I like kind of riding in the back. That's kind of my thing. Sometimes it's a mistake. You get caught up. I think you either want to be up front, like in the front, or in the back. The middle of the pack seems to be where we have, the guy from Allstate, Mr. Mayhem.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's where all the damage happens, especially at the, in the middle of the race. So, but look at America's driver. That's not a surprise. Albert, I think he likes these super speedways.
Oh, I guarantee you, he's having fun out there whenever he comes to these. Our rookie class this season, you've got several guys out here that have really shown up, and shown out and raced really well. A couple of those guys, Justin French and John Ellis, haven't put a time in. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think back last week. We had at least one of those guys, I believe, in the top 3. The way they do it here is the top 3 drivers from last week will not be allowed to qualify. They will be receiving the EOL and start in the back of the pack just to introduce some parity and kind of handicap the race a little bit and keep things interesting. But as we saw last week, Timothy Pope drove all the way up through everybody and still got a podium finish. That guy's impressive.
Yeah, I think he's going to be hard to be beat at any of these tracks, but I think Daytona and Talladega is kind of the ultimate equalizer, right? Anybody can win on any given race here. And I know I use this line a bunch, but you've actually won at one of these super speedways.
Yeah,
so.
I won a money race one time, and it was just a right place at the right time. I stayed low. I stayed right down on the apron as cars were wrecking. It was total chaos. And when I crossed the line, I didn't even know I had won the race. There was just cars sliding down all over the place. I thought there was cars above me that, I don't think I was racing in VR that day. I couldn't see above me. And, I thought for sure somebody beat me to the line, but pleasant surprise though. But, the rookie class here, we talk about them a little bit more. We got Robert Jordan, Earl Evans, Russ Endicott, who went from being a fan to being a racer. It's always cool when you see that. Guys that watch the stream and have a buddy racing or something. And then they decide, hey, man, it's time for me to throw my hat in there and try it for myself. And Russ Endicott's done that. Jeffrey Ottinger and John Ellis, who we already mentioned, and Dale Adams and Douglas Camp in that Marine Corps machine. So we'll see these guys out there running tonight and making their mark once again. Looks like we're getting ready to grid up here.
Yeah, we can try to go through the rundown. If Brown isn't back yet, an emergency at the house, something like a fire in a skillet or something. So he'll be back. We're just kind of waiting on him to hit some of the buttons.
Well, I tell you what, I'll take the first 16 if you want to take the rest of them.
Yeah, do it.
All right, the number 2 of Albert Anderson, America's driver, will be starting on the pole, and 1,000th of a second behind him, the 55 of Ricky Wittenberg, starting to his outside. The 37 of Dustin Riley and the 37 of Dustin Riley will be
easy for you to say.
Starting in third. Not all the time, that's for damn sure. Michael Everidge in the 82 truck will be starting in fourth. Kelly Keel in the 01 will be starting inside row 3 in 5th position. Eric Klafka in the 88 will be starting to his outside in 6th. 204 of Robert Jordan, one of our newcomers to Vigilante Racing League, starting in 7th. 203 of Earl Evans, another newcomer rookie. You can tell by the designation they have a 3-digit car number starting with 2. They're 200 series numbers. That's how you can tell who the rookies are here. There's no yellow stripe. It's just a 200 series number. But Earl Evans will be starting outside row 4. The 81 of Jonathan Osborne starting in 9th place. The 07 of Jack the Ripper Dixon starting in 10th. The 753 of Jeremiah Burke. We always see him with a strong performance week in and week out. He'll be starting in 11th place. Austin Paul, one of those guys who can really come up and surprise you, man. In that 3 truck, watch him today on this plate track. He'll be starting in 12th place. Dave Hot Rod Mayberry in the 29 truck will be starting in 13th. Deion Jones in the 4 will be starting in 14th place. 15th, Russ Endicott in the 257 truck. And rounding out your top 16, Michael A. Adamson in the 51.
Yeah, then another rookie, 214, Jeffrey Ottinger, 17th. 15, Jeffrey Green, 18th. 728, Timothy Pope, is in the 19th position. Are they doing those where they put them at the back of the field? If they were good last week, I don't know.
Yeah, I just pulled it off the results. I'm pulling it off.
Yeah, I think they're doing all that, the EOLs. So, all right, John Ellis, the 20th. 33 to Jess Vaught, 21. 84 Josh Blidner, 22nd. 17 of Brian Jablonski, and 23rd John Herdzik, 24th. 28 of George McCone, 25th. 999 of Jeff Snyder, 26th. 254, another rookie, Dale Adamson, 27th. Douglas Camp, 211 is 28th. Looks like we got Wes Kilgore, Rob Green, and another rookie, 202 of Justin French rounding that thing out. Looks like 31 trucks.
So they added another lap here, and that's to get the EOLs done and out of the way and get everybody to re-rack and stack where they need to be. As we mentioned before, the top 3 finishers from last week will receive an EOL to start. And also there might be carryover penalties. Some guys get sent back for penalties from last week's race. They do a pretty good job at Vigilante of reviewing the race and issuing penalties based on what happens out on the track. It's kind of hard to do some of that stuff real time, so they just kind of make it retroactive and carry it on to the next week.
Huh. Well, I need to rack and stack some of these Lone Star Reds.
Oh, drinking Reds, huh?
I mix them.
The diet's over, huh?
No, I mix them with the blues. Just a red here, 2 blues.
Because you're an American, right?
I think so. I mean, I try to be. Try to do my part.
Yeah.
Drinking American cold beer. I mean.
Well, as we get these guys lined up, these caution laps they're running here obviously do not count. They're not burning any fuel, so they will not count against these guys' 21 to 25 lap pit window that we're anticipating.
Yeah, and once again, give us a second. Our leader, punching the boards, is having a little emergency at the house. He'll be back in a minute.
And Albert Anderson's pop is saying, congrats, Russ Endicott, for making the cut. And what else we got? Green flag pit stops are important tonight. Absolutely, 100%. You are correct on that. Ashley Osborne pulling for Jonathan, of course. Eric Warman is on there watching tonight. Lofi Evans, thanks for joining us. Jack Dixon, of course, and Adam Strong joining us from Minnesota. Daytona always puts on a good show. This should be a good one, and the green flag is out. And here we go, folks. We are racing already. Trucks going up through the gears. Pretty tight grouping on the inside as you got Albert Anderson, Dustin Reilly, and the 01 of Kelly Keel. The 81 of Jonathan Osborne starting to catch up to those 3 front runners. Ricky Wittenberg in that outside line. He's got a couple of trucks behind him, but the momentum is just not there. 753 is going to jump out. He's going to bail and go to the rear. Start to single file up now. The first 5 positions, the 2, the 37, the 01, the 81, the 55, all in a row here with the 203 of Earl Evans in that U.S. Army machine coming up on the back end of Ricky here.
Hey, we're having all kinds of technical difficulties. My iRacing crashed, so we're going to have to stick with you.
Oh, am I by myself right now? Oh, wow.
Basically by yourself. You can do it all by yourself anyway.
Hey, check it out. The racing is single filing out for the most part. These guys, you got to really be careful here not to push the pusher. And Kelly Kill in that 01 VRL machine is doing just that. He's staying just off of Dustin Reilly's bumper. Dustin Reilly coming out, looks like he either pushed up or had to come out just to cool himself off just a touch, because if you get right on the tailgate of the truck in front of you, expect to see those temperatures start rising. Oil temp, water temp. You don't want that thing to get too hot, so you got to stick that nose out every now and then. That's what you see Dustin Reilly doing there.
Well, take a breath. I think we have Mr. Brown back from his the fire in the skillet. What's happening?
Yeah, had a little thing going on there, but I am back with this wonderful high-pace racing action here at Daytona. Albert Anderson up at the front, right where he started, so he must have had a pretty solid restart there. And as you said, we're lovely in that single-file line for right now, knowing how many laps we do have here tonight. You got Dustin Reilly. He's been doing a great job riding around behind him, trying to give him that little bit of a push, keep him here in the front with Kelly Keel there in third. Jonathan Osborne looking fairly solid there right now in fourth as well. He's up 5 spots off of that restart, but then we move back here to 10th and 9th. We got Russ Endicott up a couple in that 257, and Jeffrey Ottinger in that 214. He's up quite a few as well. So it's not like people haven't made moves here early. It's they made their moves, and here we go again. People looking to make some moves now.
Woo! I mean, you can be patient for quite a while, but the 01 and the 37 think that they've got some faster machines here as they look around the 2. Let's see if the 37 sticks with Kelly, or if he jumps down in front of the 2 of Albert Anderson.
It looks like he's trying to stick with Kelly, knowing that he was getting that push from him, as that 257 of Russ Endicott continues to move up and catch that draft, and that's all it took. I mean, it's not like all these guys that went up to that outside line were really all that grouped together. We had some people all the way, back in like 10th pop out, and they're all the way up towards the front now again.
Well, right after we started this thing, everybody went single file, like a lap and a half in, and now look where we're at. We're back double file again. So, hey, it never disappoints here. We got Chan the Man also joining us on YouTube, on the YouTube feed. I'm sure he's pulling for Austin Paul.
Oh, I'm sure of that, as the 257 and the 51 are having some problems trying to link up bumpers and kind of get in the same line here on that outside, as these guys have completed now 5 laps out of the 100 we're going to see here tonight. As I was away, I wasn't able to completely hear your guys' rundown and keys to tonight's race, as we're still 2 wide action here going down this back straightaway. What does obviously green flag pit stops are going to be super important here tonight, but what are we looking at for pit window? Right around 20, you think, as we're 3 wide now with that 257 all the way up on that outside wall?
Oh, the 257 in the wall. He's scraping. He came back down right in front of a couple trucks. Big checkup.
Yeah, he saved it, but yeah, I think that's what we discussed, Brown. 20 laps should be
21 to 20, 21 to 25 is what I had, but it depends on where you're sitting at in that draft.
Yeah,
and something else that's maybe a factor this week too is, especially if we get a bunch of yellows, is the 5 set tire limit.
That definitely could be something to watch out for, as if we see a whole bunch of cautions and people come down and not paying attention. Oh man, as Kelly Keel, great save up there at the front, almost flopping around like a fish on a dock. He was wiggling around like crazy, able to get that truck back under control. No issues. There's the 37. Oh, the 37 moves down. Just not quite clear enough for Keel, though. So poor Kelly's getting stuck out there, but it's not like he doesn't have help at this point. He has that 51 of Mike Adamson right behind him with a whole line of trucks there helping out that outside.
He had a split second to jump down with the 37 of Really. He just couldn't get it there. But like you said, he's got a great pusher in the 51. The Adamsons are running together. Like that's a father and son right there, Mike.
As they should be right now. I mean, you got to find your friend out there for sure. And it's certainly, and I mentioned this before, patience. You got to have patience here. But at some point, one of these guys is going to get impatient, and then we're going to see some real fun.
As we ride around here with that 254 of Dale Adamson, with Pops Mike Adamson right in front of him in that 51, and you can see just the little checkups that these guys are having. A big run there for Dale. He did a great job checking that up, and that's going to allow that top line to move. Kelly Keel is way clear of that 37, but that 37 now going into that corner is able to catch back on up, and that run has come to an end.
Well, he's got more cars on the outside. Well, not anymore. As fast as things change here, looks like we got a couple more cars on the low line now, so it's really hard to kind of make up where you want to run. But it's early. These guys got all the time in the world to get back up there. We still got 90 laps to go here at this big old track. Oh, thank you, too, to Angry Indian 89 for joining us on the Twitch channel.
It looks like he got a pretty good pack. I mean, almost 28, 29 cars in his lead pack kind of following each other, so we haven't had too much separation just yet, which sometimes happens in these super speedway races.
Eric Warman joining us on YouTube saying tires aren't really a big deal here. And he's really right. I mean, unless you're really fighting, sliding back and forth and stuff, you're not really going to use up a whole lot of tires here. I imagine he's right. We're going to see a lot of fuel-only stops here.
That is definitely a possibility. As kind of take a look back here towards the middle of the pack, we got that 7 of Russ Kilgore, who has really put some good efforts in the last couple of weeks here. He's up 19 spots in 11th as of right now.
Wow.
And I know you were talking about rookies because I was trying to listen in as best as I could, but that 202 of Justin French, he's up 18 himself right around in 14th as of right now. Same thing with that 214 of Jeffrey Ottinger and the 221 of John Ellis, all within that 14, 15, 16 spot. Oh, and Russ Endicott, he's right there as well in 17th spot. So we got all these rookies all up here, maybe working together just a little bit, trying to get each other up there to the front. And who knows, we'll just have to wait and see what happens here coming towards the end, what alliances have been formed and what friendships were made on false promises.
Well, something this league does too, it's an invite-only league. I mean, they get to choose who races and who doesn't. And Adam, they picked a pretty good rookie class, it looks like.
Yeah, they've been pretty impressive. I think one of them, Mr. Ellis, hadn't been racing very long, but he's always winning. I don't know. They got some good ones out there. We'll see how they fare tonight in the super speedway. This could be like a war of attrition here as the night goes on.
That 211 truck of Douglas Camp, I love that Marine Corps paint. That is sweet. I wonder if he is a double dog. He might be.
Yeah, that's a good looking paint. There's a lot of them D&D Race Graphics painted with Ricky Wittenberg. That's our sponsor.
Yep, you need you need a truck painted or any other vehicle for iRacing for that matter, yeah, check him out. D&D Race Graphix on Facebook. Graphix is spelled Grafix. Definitely check him out. Send him a message. He's one of those artists that really knows what he's doing. He's got the what do they call it? The maps, where it shows reflection and all that. I don't know what it's called. I'm not technically gifted or artistically gifted like he is, but he can definitely explain it to you. But yeah, half the paint's out here, I think Ricky did. Check out D&D Race Graphix on Facebook.
Oh, as up here at the front, we got another big run here. The 51, the 01, and the 254, Dale Adamson. Huge run there, allowing Kelly to jump out in front of Dustin, really trying to take this lead over, but that top line just ran out of enough steam to not allow Mike or Dale to kind of follow suit down in there. But like I said, ton of laps to go. As you can see, the 82 of Mike Everidge slowly catching up to the tail end of this high line. Only about 4 trucks long now as everyone's kind of shuffling back kind of to that single file look here.
Adamson's out there running for Limitless. They might as well be the Earnhardts, the senior and the junior out there running. It's the father and son team working together really well on that outside line. They've got a little bit of help behind them. If the 211 would just get a little bit closer, it may help their momentum some.
Somebody to run with. You don't want to be stuck out here kind of on your own in this situation. Still, everybody's playing nice so far.
Albert Anderson's pop on Facebook. Albert Anderson second saying these rookies are looking good. Got that right. And Ron Dixon saying it's more exciting tonight than last Sunday's Daytona race. When's the big one gonna happen? Well, let's hear what you guys have to say. When do y'all think the big wreck is coming? I'm going to probably put it somewhere around probably 5 or 6 to go. That's kind of my thought process going forward.
Well, the other thing to consider is we might have one here early because we're only a few laps away from that pit window opening up as what we're at least expecting and estimating here. So thankfully, mostly everybody down there on that bottom line, so those 4 top line trucks might need to think about getting down to that bottom line somehow, or they're just going to have to wait and do an extra lap compared to these guys. And, it looks like teams are fairly close together, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue of people coming down as another big run happens here up at the front. The 254 of Dale able to push that 51 of Mike, get him out to that front row of the bottom line here. So now it's going to be kind of, big wiggle there from Kelly Keel, able to keep it back down and not get up into that high line. But yeah, it's going to be kind of up to that 211 of Douglas Camp to now try to get that push and get that top line rotated back through up there.
Yeah, Camp's one of those guys, I believe he's a Texas native, that's been very cautious out there. We haven't seen Douglas Camp ride on folks' bumper, not doing a lot of aggressive pushing. So I don't know how successful Dale is going to be riding in front of him right there on the outside line. But anything can happen, and like we say, it's very, very early. We're not even a fifth of the way through this thing.
Yeah, the only real pushing right now I see is Kelly Keel out there pushing Mike Adamson. Most people are kind of, staying there, keeping their distance, and just kind of putting these laps down, I think, conservatively. And, it's probably a good idea. Have patience.
Well, it's a great plan. And, the 37 and the 2 and these guys running that low line behind them, they don't really have to stress. They don't have to be right on somebody's bumper because that draft is so strong. They're just sitting back there half pedaling it. I guarantee you that's what Albert's doing right now in that 2 truck. He's just sitting there half pedaling it, riding behind Dustin Reilly, who's probably half pedaling, 3/4 pedaling behind the 01. So they're just relaxed right now. They're thinking about that upcoming upcoming pit stop that we'll probably see here in about 5 laps.
As we also look kind of back down through this field, back here in 22nd, we have the 728 of Timothy Pope having a great season like he always does. Doing a fantastic job back there. Same thing with Dave Hot Rod Mayberry. He's riding around. And got that 84, Josh Bittner as well, kind of hanging around out towards the back. Maybe just waiting for that right time. As looks like the 257 having some issues there. Russ Endicott.
He pitted early. He pitted at lap 19. He was just getting out on the track. Pitted by himself.
Some takers. Kelly Kuehl's coming down.
All right, so we do, yes, have some takers. Kelly Keel, Dustin Reilly, John Herzig, and I think Jeff Snyder all coming down into pit road here. So definitely starting to see that cycle happening here on lap 21, or I should say lap 20 going on to 21, as Mike Adamson is going to lead the field out here. But that also, all that left some space, so Dale Adamson able to come down and drop into that bottom line. Really, the only person that hadn't jumped down into that bottom line was Douglas Camp, but he was able to find that spot. So everybody down there on that low line. So I think we're going to see just one big, massive wave here, and here it comes.
So Dana Lee Costello Burris pulling for Russell and Albert.
Ooh, as we're 3 wide here on pit lane. Oh, Dale getting squeezed. Ooh, man, that was close between the 2 and the 51. Only a few trucks left out there on track, but you know what? Looking at that pit entry, everybody did a pretty darn good job.
They saved it somehow. They made it work, but
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
No, it looked like they were trying to squeeze Albert Anderson right out of the pit stop, but he got in there. And now a lot of the other guys are going to be coming down.
Russ Kilgore in that Ortho number 7. Love that paint scheme, by the way. Up there in second, up 28 spots behind Michael Everidge. They have yet to make their pit stops, but it looks like they're all diving down now.
Yes, they are. It looks like the remainder of the field coming down into pit lane here as, man, Dale Adamson, a really quick pit stop. A 3-second pit stop. Man, did he even take fuel?
Might have just been a splash.
Oh, man. There's no telling. There were so many cars and trucks down there. Couldn't figure it out. Kelly Keel looks like he had a blazing time as well.
Yeah, I wonder if our stopwatch guys down there on pit road got a little too antsy with that button.
Yeah, that's got to be a glitch.
Yeah, you can't trust computers all the time, guys. We know that.
221. I hope he's not going to get a unsafe pit exit here. It looks like he may have crossed the double yellow. Looked like the 728 just did too. Be careful, guys. Stay below the double yellow until you merge.
As our entire field has now pitted. Oh, caution! We're going to have a caution here. We got a few trucks involved between people coming in and out of the pits.
It's still going. 214 around.
Oh, man, alive. I know I saw Kelly Keel getting involved in that. I don't know exactly what happened there. This one's going to definitely take a closer look.
We got plenty of time for replays now, as caution's going to take a while. Lori Vaught, our race control official, throwing that flag after she saw a few trucks going around. And good eye up there, Lori. Yeah, that you said the 01 was part of the first.
Oh yeah, just I think a little firm bump there from
oh man, and that code behind him.
Oh, a little firm bump from Albert Anderson in the 2 to the 51 sent the 51 up just enough to snag the 01, which caused a whole chain reaction. Jess Vaught being one of those guys in the 33, all getting wadded up. And you can see everybody's trying to check up here, but even after the fact, people still kept going around. The 214 had some issues. I think the 82 had some issues. I mean, it wasn't a big crazy wreck. It was just all scattered around, helter-skelter, not like any crazy hard contact or anything like that, but it definitely caused an issue for some of these drivers.
Well, the way Dustin Ridley's truck jumped up in the air after he either barely made contact or maybe just got close to that one of those trucks that was checking up, that looked like a little bit of net code happened to the 37. But a lot of these guys coming back down once again to burn a fast repair, I'm sure, because aero is everything here. They got two of them to use, don't they, Adam?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is the time for something like that to happen. What are we, a quarter of the way through this thing? If they burn a fast repair now, they're still going to have another one. So, hey, that's why we have those fast repairs, right? Super Speedway, the inevitable is going to happen. You're going to get caught up in something that you weren't really involved in, but you became involved in it just by circumstance. And they'll get back out there and get back on the track in no time.
Yeah, Albert Anderson joining us on Facebook saying going to be interesting on pit road. Yeah, we did see some guys that looked like they took full service. A couple other guys fuel only, and a couple guys that had to go back down to get some damage done. Or fixed, I should say. The damage was done on the track. The fixing's going to get done in the pits.
Well, and that's that caution's going to bring us to that quarter of the way mark. Looks like we have Mike Adamson out there in the lead. When we go back to green flag racing here, Albert Anderson, his teammate, going to be starting right there behind him, as well as another teammate, his son Dale Adamson, going to be starting there in third, up quite a few spots. You got Justin French currently sitting in fourth with Robert Jordan, one of the new guys. Same thing with Justin. He's going to be up there in fifth. Jeremiah Burke in sixth with Jess Vaught able to save that truck from absolute mayhem. And you also got Jonathan Osborne, Douglas Camp. You got Kelly Keel up there in that top 10. So we still got a pretty stacked field up here. Once when we go back to green flag racing.
Don't count somebody out like Rob Green in the 91 truck. He's riding around back there right now in 14th, up 17 spots. Well, now it's his 13th place as we get the order sorted out here. But watch Rob Green, watch Russ Kilgore, watch these middle of the pack drivers. As like Adam likes to say, anybody can really, if they take care of themselves here, they can go from chump to champ in no time. So, looking for a dark horse guy. I'll put it out to the guys on social media, the guys and gals watching us tonight. Who's your dark horse pick? Who's your middle of the pack, maybe rear of the pack driver week in week out that you think can maybe get up here and get an upset? I'd like to hear some names of folks y'all are watching.
I think Russ Kilgore could be one of them personally. He's pretty consistent if he doesn't get involved in an accident.
We've seen John Herzik, have a couple of decent finishes. He's one of those guys, he might come up there and surprise you too. Sometimes it just takes some dodging as the pace truck looks like he's ready to come down.
That he is. The green flag is out. Green flag racing here once again at Daytona. 2 wide racing to get this thing started off. Mike Adamson down low with Albert Anderson outside. Got some teammates out there working together. I mean, dang near the entire Limitless Esports crew is all right around each other. So definitely looks like they might be trying to work something out, trying to finagle their way and get in line here as we go back to this racing down the long back straightaway here. People shuffling around, trying to get maybe into that inside line and out to that outside line. A little bit of a shuffle scuffle kind of towards the back, but everyone's able to figure it out, and we are putting in the laps here.
Yep, they got to click off quite a few more before they start thinking about being really aggressive. As Kelly Kill, great little arrow push right there onto the 81. Love seeing John Osborne in that black machine go up there.
Really, you just need to kind of hold what you got here. This is a half of the real actual Daytona 500, so
that's true.
There's a lot of laps involved. There needs to be a lot of patience involved. So just stay with it, and with about 10, 15 to go, that's when you need to let it rip.
204 of Robert Jordan looked like he was going to bail out. I don't think that was an intentional move down there onto the apron, but he brings it back up and sucks right back up onto the back of Dale Adamson in the 254.
And that he does a good job of trying to maintain it and stay up there in that draft, doing a good job. You got the Adamsons working together. You got Albert Anderson working with a non-teammate out there, but still nonetheless working together, trying to get that top line momentum rolling.
Oh, there goes Dale.
Oh, Dale going all the way down to the apron. He's going to have to try to figure a way to come back up. People are giving him room, though, so good job on those guys for recognizing the situation and being like, maybe let's just let him up and not have something else happen here. I wonder if Dale was just in a position where he really didn't like it. Oh, no, as the 4 goes off into the inside wall.
That's Dion Jones. Oh, man, what happened to Dion? But it's a round robin up front here right now. Justin French behind Albert Anderson. And look who just jumped in front of him. Jeremiah Burke leaves the outside lane to jump in front of the two. And the outside's got a heck of a... Kelly Keel is pushing everybody today. He is a pushing machine.
Yeah, pushing that 81 to Jonathan Osborne up there at the front. Ran out of just a little bit of momentum, but they're all stacked together pretty well there. And you know what? It looked like for Dale Adamson, he was coming back down into the pits. I wonder if he might have had one of those fuel bugs where it didn't fill his truck, or he might not have had the right amount clicked in there, so he had to dive down pit road. That's the kind of only thing I can expect from that. Maybe that's something we can check in on a little later on as we
here we go again as Kelly Keel goes back to work on the 81. Look who's right behind him. Jess Vaught in that Harry Gant Skull Bandit number 33 truck. Right behind him is 81, dives down in front of Burke.
Yeah, he had that opening, and he wasn't going to let that one pass this time. He jumps right on down. So for the first time tonight, Kelly Keel is not being the pusher. He is now being pushed by that 33 of Jess Vaught, who's, man, he was in a great position to win here last week over at Sonoma. Just one tiny mistake and ended up giving that one away to Josh Bittner, but hey, he's making up for it here tonight, running very strong up here at the front.
And Justin French decided to swap lanes and go back up. The 999 of Snyder is doing some work tonight. Currently busting right back into the top 15, up 11 spots overall. Jeff Snyder in the 999. Keep your eye on that truck.
Yeah, Kelly Keel finally getting up front, not having to push him where he's being pushed, but seems like they lose momentum on that top line there as,
on half of the track.
Yeah, in the backstretch there. But then they start pushing here on the front half. Totally different than how those next-gen cars ran. They ran that top line like crazy last weekend in the real Daytona 500. But we'll see if this top line can do anything here.
I'm with our buddies on social media. This has been more exciting than the actual Daytona 500 for sure.
Well, that also just it's the product. These guys, as much as we say, hey, they're racing for money and they're doing this out here and whatnot, but I mean, really, this is just their outlet, their fun time. No one in here is really a pro or anything like that. These are just your typical average Joes out here having some fun, doing some racing. And with that, you'll see the little mistakes that happen and that you probably wouldn't see the professionals do or anything like that. But at the same time, these guys are racing better than some of those esport professional guys. We got some
100%.
people diving down to the apron there.
Yeah, Albert Anderson says, I don't believe I made contact with the 51. I didn't feel anything. I'm going to have to go back and look at the replay after the race. We have seen that a couple times with, they call it netcode for those of you that may be unfamiliar with iRacing and are just getting involved in watching it. Netcode is one of those things where this is a computer program, folks. So, I mean, sometimes the collision subroutines in the programming think that two cars collided, even though there is some distance in between them still. It's just a glitch. And we've seen it, hell, this week we've seen it at a couple different races. But iRacing does the best they can to try to minimize it, but I'm pretty sure we saw it at least once tonight as well.
As the 01 Akil had that run just a lap ago, able to jump down in front of Osborne, so he's able to take charge of that bottom line. That leaves Jess Vaught and Justin French on that outside, trying to work their magic and continue this lazy Susan action going around that we kind of typically see here at these plate tracks. And that's the beauty of this two-wide racing, especially up here at the front. You're going to see multiple lead changes. I wouldn't doubt we see at least a total of 20 lead changes here tonight.
Yeah, and while they're running too wide up front, in the back they're running single file. However, they're still in a draft, so the chance is still there for them to move up. Maybe they're just being more patient. Maybe they're anticipating the big one. At some point they're going to stack back up. You can change your strategy. This right now, it's not a bad place to be in. 20th place. I wouldn't consider that a bad spot at all.
I wouldn't even consider being out of the draft in a bad spot as long as you're in the secondary draft or something with a couple other trucks. I mean, you don't have to be in the lead pack right this minute.
As we're taking a ride here with the 214 of Jeffrey Ottinger, kind of riding around there, top 15-ish kind of spot on that bottom line, kind of right where it starts to split to be single file. And man, you can see he's doing a pretty good job. He's leaving a nice little space between him and the truck in front of him, just in case something were to go on, but he's not losing that draft.
And it's hard to see perspective here, but when these guys go into the turns, there is a lot of banking here. And I think they have a gyro camera in here too. Maybe we can get a shot of that here for the folks. Man, what a crazy amount of banking we have here, especially in the big turns, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's not a whole lot to tri-oval, but you'd have a hard time walking up this banking that they have here.
Yeah, it's like a mini ski slope. It's really amazing if you're there standing next to it in person. It's pretty crazy how much banking is involved here.
Hey, you can see it here as we take a ride with the 202 of Justin French, another newcomer. That's how you guys can tell some of these guys are, at least their first season is they'll have like a 200 series number. And yeah, Justin French being one of those. And man, that thing's almost, what is it, 30
something degrees, yeah. 33, 36, something like that.
I mean, you could
Thanks
almost
for indulging me, dude. I love that camera.
you could almost, imagine them driving on, a basically vertical wall. I mean, you see in real life when people are out there walking along the track. I mean, you got to be careful not to fall off of that thing, because that's like 2 or 3 stories tall.
Yep, right you are. Jack Dixon chiming in on YouTube saying, "Hey, don't look now, but the Team Omega guys are all lined up. They're probably gonna try to stick to the same strategy and help each other and be there at the end. So watch those Team Omega. What's it called? Omega Racing Experience guys. They all have an Omega symbol on the hood or each of the spot.
Yeah, Jack Dixon,
5
Austin
of them
Paul,
in a row.
Ricky Woodenberg, Josh Bidner, and Eric Klafka. Yeah, we're coming up to almost another pit window here. Looks like getting close.
Yeah, getting close. I think everybody came down right around lap 25 to top up on fuel and tires when we were under caution here. So yeah, we're looking about 5 more laps. So that's going to get us close to that halfway point. And actually, here we go. We got Limitless Esports bailing out right now.
Some of them aren't going to make it, I don't think. Golly.
We got in the grass, slowed down there.
Ooh, that was a hot pit entry.
That was actually definitely a team decision right there. I guess that's how we're going to do it tonight.
I love the team concept that some of these leagues have, and these guys do it as good as any of them. And the teams are in their own Discord chat. They're all on the radio with each other, so it's easy to coordinate pushing and moving and hitting, and they really got it figured out.
Ooh, man, is that 28 of George Rincon. Man, where did George Rincon come from as he pushed that 33 of Jess Vaught all the way to the front, able to get on down to that bottom line. So another lead change here. Jess Vaught to this front standing position. But yeah, man, just George Rincon up 21 spots on the day. He's having himself some good runs here lately, as I think George, man, he finished really well at Sonoma last week.
Well, and he's been running great all night tonight, staying clean, and he's been slowly working his way up, and it's a good thing he's jumping down right now into that lower lane, but yeah, he's looked strong all night. It's just taking him a while to get up there.
Yeah, I wonder if there was some contact over the radio there saying, hey, man, we're really looking like we want to pit here in just a little bit. Can we start lining up, maybe single file? And quite a few people did oblige. We still have some trucks out there on that outside line, however, Timothy Pope being one of them. He's falling around behind the 82 of Mike Everidge with the 221 of John Ellis. Man, John Ellis, he's been one of those very impressive guys, basically not finishing outside of the top 5 here this season yet, doing a fantastic job, and there's no other person that I'm sure he wants to be behind other than our current championship standing leader, and that's the 728 of Pope.
Yeah, meanwhile up front, Jess Vaught and that 33 Skull Bandit machine being pushed by the old one of Kelly Keel. Getting some laps led in here. League owner with one of the other great big supporters. Kelly Keel been with this league a long time. Does a lot to support this league. Jonathan Osborne right behind him.
728 of Pope was pushing Mike Everidge. And Everidge said, no, I'll just jump right down here in front of Rincon. I don't want no part of the top line just yet.
Ellis said, I'll go with you, though. John Ellis going with the 728 of Pope.
Osborne's calling out his pit, so Jonathan Osborne should be coming down to pit.
He's sitting there currently in that 3rd spot, but I mean, man, look at that run that 221 and the 728 has had as Osborne and looks like Justin French going to be coming down. But it doesn't take that many trucks here, and this is just going to prove it, as the 221 and that 728, man, almost all by themselves, going all the way up on that high line, are now pretty much even up there almost with the top couple.
You got to be careful here, though. Pope and Ellis and now Russ Endicott run that outside line. Look how solid the inside line is. If they start to sputter here in the next couple of laps and needing fuel, it's going to be impossible for them to get down. They're going to lose a lot of track position, slowing down to try to get into a spot.
As the 257 goes up and snags that outside wall, able to save it, but that's going to cause a big checkup, and I think the 254, Dale Adamson, getting involved in that. He's going to bail out and come down pit road here again.
Yeah, if it was me, I'm personally on that low line, and those guys like Pope are up top, I'm not letting you down.
Oh no,
You're gonna have to figure it out on your own. Not just me personally.
100%. I'm with you there.
But especially with Pope, the guy wins every race damn near. So you need to keep him up there and let him run out of gas up there. That's just me. I'm kind of ruthless like that. But I think a lot of y'all would agree if drivers out there.
Absolutely. Especially not a teammate, you know. It's like Ellis is going to find a spot in the inside line, leaving Pope up there by himself. And here comes Keel and Vaught. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's exactly what I was going to say. As the 211s of Douglas Camp staying out, so he's going to lead this thing for the first time out there in front of the 221 of John Ellis. Man, Tim Pope still no help on that outside line, so he's starting to fall back quite a bit. But, man, it's had some little insider information from the pit crew of that 2 Albert Anderson. Ouch, that too fast entering pit road penalty hurt.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he looked like he was cooking it coming in. I didn't know that he got a penalty or not.
Oh, man, look at this run that John Ellis has. It's almost like a secondary team got formed up behind that 211 of Douglas Camp. He's fallen like a sack of potatoes here as he's now coming down into pit road. But yeah,
coming by himself, though, that's not good.
That is not good. So we're starting to maybe see some little mental mistakes happen here, trying to maybe overestimate some people's fuels and other people just not quite using enough of that brake pedal to come down pit road.
Yeah, I think the Rincon average, they're coming down this time. They're calling it out. And I've heard some people being a little bit angry on the radio when some of the other drivers weren't calling out their pits. Well, do you need to call that out, or is that just a gentleman deal?
So look, if I'm going to race around you all season and you're going to come down like that, and I'm right next to you, yeah, I want to hear you say something. But if there's nobody around me, I don't say nothing. But if there's guys right behind me, yeah, I'm going to call it out. I'm going to call it out every time, just so you don't wreck me. You know what I mean? It's mutually beneficial.
Well, we have our second wave of guys coming down pit road. We're going to be approaching halfway here in just a lap. And that 55 of Ricky Wittenberg takes the lead for the first time here tonight. And
go Ricky!
Right there, coming out of pit road. Does he have enough speed to catch on to that draft to try to maybe catch up a little bit of that speed? Was that Marine Corps truck of
Douglas Camp?
Douglas Camp. Looks like he just had enough. As they're also catching up to the tail end of Dale Adamson here. So we're going to have a couple people, the remainder of the field here. Ricky Wittenberg, Austin Paul, Eric Klafka, and Jack Dixon all coming down pit road.
Omega.
Team Omega staying out there, really pushing it to the limit as we got a whole slew of cars back here on this back straightaway. Everybody exiting from the pits and getting all stacked back up and racing here as Chess Vaught out in front of Kelly Keel. He's going to be inheriting the lead here once again. The 203 of Earl Evans, he's going to be now up into third when they cross the line here. And, man, we've got a whole big old shuffle as everybody has now completed their second pit stops of the night.
Speaking of Ricky Wittenberg, let's go ahead and talk about Ricky Wittenberg, Keller Williams Realty of Johnson City, Tennessee. But it doesn't matter if you live around Johnson, Tennessee or not. You can live anywhere in the United States, and Ricky Wittenberg can help you find a realtor to buy or sell your home. Get a hold of him at 423-444-0454. That's Ricky Wittenberg, Keller Williams Realty, Johnson City. Does a lot for this league, man, and him and the Omega guys are out there working together like no other team, man. They're looks like they got split up a little bit on pit exit there.
Now they got plenty of time to find each other as we're about halfway through this thing just now. So we've got plenty of laps to go to find your friend again.
Well, not to mention that, but you also got those Limitless Esports guys, Jeremiah Burke, Mike Adamson. They're all back together. Even though he's a lap down, Albert Anderson is still running with this main pack. So as much as that penalty has hurt him and put him a lap down, he's still in a pretty good spot as long as he can kind of maintain that position right now in front of Jonathan Osborne. He will be the lucky dog.
Absolutely. It's a great spot to be in. Do not let anybody around you, because Osborne, Jones, Jeff Green, Russ Endicott, these guys are also going to be fighting for that lucky dog. So do what you can to stay as far ahead of those guys as you can to ensure that you get the lucky dog when and if we do have another caution.
Which
that's the big win and if, right?
Oh yeah, and I'm sure we're probably gonna see another one here, especially if we have this many trucks still up here, in this main pack. I mean, after 2 green flag pit stops, we still got 12 plus trucks all up there in this main pack. And again, we also have some lap trucks kind of littered around there, as well as that 221 of John Ellis leading that outside line up here, being pushed by the 28 of George Rincon. These two had the fight of the night last week as they were coming through the final corners at Sonoma. Little beating and banging door action through the final turn, and George Rincon just able to get the best of him there, but looks like they're working well together right now.
Ooh, Yahtzee, how clean has this race been? The 203 and the 37 I just saw took turns kind of bouncing off the yellow line there. Hopefully they can hold that line behind the 01 as he's getting a little wiggly.
Yeah, so I think the pit stops broke it up, and we're going to have a couple different packs, looks like now. But, man, pretty impressive front pack for sure. These guys are kind of keeping it together, really well formed. See nothing, crazy where we're going to have anybody throwing helmets or anything yet, Brown.
No, everyone's been pretty solid out there. As we take a quick look back here at kind of that secondary pack that's still kind of trying to form up really nicely here. That's being led by that 3 of Austin Paul. You got Eric Klafka, Jeff Snyder, Josh Bittner, Ricky Wittenberg, Jack the Ripper Dixon out there, Dave Hot Rod Mayberry back there. I mean, they're all still on that lead lap, but they've got a whole lot of work to do. They're like 9 seconds and losing time, so that is not the position they want to be in.
Yeah, but don't panic. Just stay where you're at in your pack, and something's going to happen. We're going to form back up. I guarantee you, we're going to have an issue at some point. I mean, this is Daytona. Something's going to happen. So, but I'll tell you what's been real consistent. Kelly Keel and Jeff Funk running up front here tonight. It's been kind of one or the other, pretty much. Looks like the last 15, 20 laps or so for sure.
That is also for certain, man. Kelly Keel, he has definitely been showing that he is one that you want on that back bumper as he pushes that 33 of Jess Vaught across the line here, still in that lead. A little past halfway by about 6 laps. And, man, this race has had that little bit of everything that we've wanted. We're just waiting for that big one, which, like you said, still got plenty of time for it.
Yeah, I like the big one, but I wouldn't like 10 big ones. So we're looking pretty good in this race so far. They're keeping it together. They look like they know what they're doing. They look like they've raced together, which they have. And so far, it's looking really good, man. I'm sure those guys, everybody out there, gals watching, hopefully are enjoying the show kind of like we are.
All right, they are, as Albert Anderson, the pops of the other Albert Anderson, saying, "Take it easy, Russ," when Russ was kind of grinding that outside wall. We've seen a few trucks actually do that, kind of just go out there, snag that outside wall. And, that's the thing people don't realize here at Daytona is things get a little tighter as you get into some of these corners. It doesn't really open up until you hit the back and front straightaways. As another big push here on that outside line, that 221 with some help from that 28, trying to get out in front of that 33, but man, Kelly Keel is just a machine down there pushing that 33.
He's been doing that all night. It's been great to watch. Michael Everidge trying to join the party up here in the outside lines. They got 3 trucks together. Let's see if he can get a little extra help behind him. But man, those front 2 trucks just on a tear.
Kelly Keel, is he the Cal Naughton Jr. of Vigilante Racing? 'Cause that's what he seems to be his job right now.
Oh, he's damn good at it.
Yeah, he is. And it looks like Brown and English, I think we have 3 packs. You got to look at second pack. Yeah, you're going to have 3 packs. Leading the third pack will be the 211 of Douglas Camp in that Marine Corps truck.
And
he's got quite a few behind him.
Yeah, that he does. He's got Dale Adamson back there, who's had some issues down there on pit road. I don't know if he's suffering from one of those many iRacing pitting glitches, but he's still out there running, doing pretty well. You also got the 204 of Robert Jordan there. The 15 of Jeff Green is riding around. Kind of a whole slew of others trying to catch back up to that mid-pack, which is still, I believe, being led by Austin Paul in that 3. Like I said, got Eric Klafkin, the 88 right there. The 999 of Jeff Snyder in there. Same thing with the 84 of Josh Bittner in there as well. As we continue to tick laps away here at Daytona. As, man, what did we miss up here at the front? As the field kind of looks like it blew up a little bit.
It almost looked like Kelly and Jess were running away with it for a minute, and it kind of split the pack up.
Kind of went single file there, except for a couple guys still running up high.
Yeah, one of those guys is that 30.
Average. Where's the 82? He was just there.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What did happen to Everidge? So I didn't see.
I looked away for a split second. Yeah, he's way behind now. He's behind George Cone.
Maybe he was getting hot. Had to pull out.
Maybe so.
Maybe it's. He's got to be careful here. Him and George, as they're kind of close to losing that draft.
Oh, contact between the 202 and the 7, as they're side by side right there in the tri-oval. Rob Green up high, a lap truck, I should say, going into turn 1.
And that 91, things are going to get a little tight here with the 202 and the 81. Able to squeeze right on in. Man, that 221 of John Ellis kind of realizing this is not a good situation. I think he backed out of it just enough to let those guys in. But yeah, John Ellis went from, fighting up at the front for the lead to now he's kind of back here fighting with the truck of of Osborne, who's kind of a lap down right now. You got Timothy Pope around him. You got Russ Kilgore back there as well. I mean, this, when I say back there, I mean they're still right around that top 10, but I mean it's still a pretty hefty gap when you're single file.
Yeah, Peyton McGowan joining us on YouTube once again. Two-time fan of the race so far this season. Peyton on there pulling for Josh Bittner in the 84. 84's got some work to do. Stuck way back towards the back of this lead lap, but
don't forget the fan of the race. We didn't mention to the you comment, and your comments are good and interactive. You could win some money, so keep talking.
We appreciate all of our followers on Twitch and YouTube and the M.TV Facebook page. Thanks everybody for joining the show, or the reason why we do this. Man, you couldn't get a better show than Daytona on a Wednesday night. This has just been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I could do Daytona, 2 nights a week, at least.
Sure.
I enjoy it, and it just looks. iRacing's done a great job with the simulation. The lights reflecting off the trucks. It looks real.
I love
feels
night
real.
racing so much better here.
Yeah. All right, we got some pit takers coming on down.
Ooh, yeah.
Limitless Esports all pitting together again.
Ooh, that's, again, kind of fairly early, but they did pit on right around lap 40, if I do believe so. So that's that
22 left.
Right around that number. Hopefully able to get it slowed down correctly this time. And so we got 3 trucks out in front with a little bit of a gap. Just fought Killikeel and Earl Evans, C203. We haven't heard much from Earl driving that Go Army truck. Doing a great job riding in third.
Good job on Earl. Get up there kicking some ass tonight.
And,
Whoa, they all coming down.
Little squiggly. Got worried there for just a second as Kelly Keel locks him up. So just fought Kelly, Earl, and Dustin all coming down into pit lane. So that's going to gift that lead to Russ Kilgore in that 7, driving the Ortho truck.
All right, good on you, Russ.
Man, changing it up from the Gorilla Glue.
John Herdzik in the 14 looking for a spot maybe to try to drop down. I don't think he's made his stop just yet.
Yeah, we're used to seeing Russ Kilgore in that Miller Genuine draft truck, the one that goes about 300 yards in the air at a lot of these tracks.
A couple of times.
He's done that a couple of times, but man, looking clean tonight. You have to stick with this paint.
That he is, as he's currently heading this charge out in front of about 5 trucks here. We got the 221 of John Ellis, the 728 of Pope behind him. Same thing with the 28 of George Rincon and the 82 of Mike Everidge. And then we got a big gap all the way back here to Douglas Camp, about 17 seconds, man. That chase pack has lost a lot of time, but they are definitely have the numbers right now. And you got a great driver behind Douglas right now, that 254 of Dale Adamson. He can definitely push you around this racetrack. So be on the lookout for this chase pack to maybe use this time that they've got all the trucks in the world, as it seems, to try to make up some ground on those lead guys.
Russ Endicott is really in need of somebody to go with him. That 257 truck has been sticking to that outside lane, throwing side draft down, trying to get somebody to go with him. He's not giving it up. I'm not sure. Did he make his? I'm not sure that he made his latest pit stop yet. No, he last pitted on 49. So he's due for a pit stop here before too long. But look at him side drafting, trying to move up a little bit here.
And he's doing a really good job of it, too. Picking and choosing, realizing, hey, I lost a run. I need to drift back down just a little bit. Get to that quarter panel. Maybe pick up that extra couple miles an hour. And slowly and surely, he's moving his way up. But, man, he definitely would like some help. Like I see that 15 truck of... who is in that 15?
That's that's Jeff Green, I believe.
Yeah, trying to catch up to that back bumper of him. As it looks like, here we go, pit stops round number 2 for this kind of mid-pack. Douglas Camp, Dale Adamson, Robert Jordan, and John Herdzik all coming down. As the 4 drivers of Kilgore, Ellis, Pope, and Rincon still staying out up at that front. So, excuse me, the 5 trucks.
Shan, the man 72, joining us on YouTube, saying the big one is going to happen with guys trying to come to pit road. We've seen some wrecks happen like that before, hadn't we?
Yeah, definitely in previous races tonight. They have done some amazing driving out on the pit road. Some super close calls, but they've been pretty clean.
That's the 28 and the 203 trade a little paint there for just a split second, but really no issues there. Maybe just saying a little, hey, don't come down yet, or don't come up yet. I'm still here.
Derek Welch joining us on Facebook. Good to see you, Derek. We saw him have a great finish last night in the HCK Beagles Racing League race. And, of course, you can catch him over at Numb Thumbs Gaming as well. Thanks for joining us, Derek. This is definitely one worth watching, rewinding, and watching later, Derek. So if you're just joining us, you missed quite a bit of great racing. It's been a lot of fun.
Now, we're approaching that 3/4 of the way mark, right? So we're approaching lap 75 here pretty quick. If you were to pick a team, because a lot of these guys are sticking with their teams and each team's having their strategy.
Oh, man, don't do this to me.
Which team do you think is going to be there at the end? And I'll tell you what, my pick right now, just based on the eyeball math, is that Limitless Esports team. We've seen them doing this early pit stops. And the way it's turning out, I think, even these guys up here at the front, they're going to have to come down, this time and then probably at least once more. Because, we're talking a fuel game now.
I can't say that because you got even Team Goodweiser, which is George Racone, Mike Everett, and John Ellis. They're all close to each other on the track as well. So it depends on who works together the best, coming in and coming out and strategizing. So it could be Goodweiser, Limitless, Omegas. We don't really know at this point. But I'm just saying don't count anybody out because there's still a lot of racing left to be done.
Exactly. Yahtzee.
I'm definitely not counting anybody out, as this field still remains pretty split out there. As looks like
comes Goodweiser into pit.
Yeah, Goodweiser coming down. So Timothy Pope inheriting that lead once again. He's got the lap truck of the 203. Earl Evans helping push him around. Same thing with another lap truck, that 91 of Rob Green, I believe it is, helping out. So we got three trucks up here kind of all by themselves, and this is the magic of that green flag pit stops. Things get split up and all staggered around, and this is definitely causing for gonna be a very interesting race finish here.
This is where that coordination comes into play. This is where that practicing your green flag pits comes into play. It even works better if you practice it with your team. Hopefully some of these guys did that. Derek Welch also said, this is the super speedway. It couldn't be fun. We know he's not a fan of super speedway racing. He had a blast at the short track last night, so but man, the pack racing ain't just his cup of tea, I guess. As
Tim Pope all by himself came down pit road. Same thing with the Vigilante Omegas. They're coming down pit road. So here comes Jess Vaught and Kelly Keel working together like they have been all race along, taking back this lead and going around that 728 of Pope, who's not going to be able to catch up to this main pack's draft. But like I said, from this point on now, it's going to be a fuel game, and how much are you going to be able to make it? And for Vaught, Keel, and Adamson, and Reilly, and French, that's might be pushing it just a little too much.
They're not going to make it. What they're going to have to do is they're going to have to come in and just take like a half a can or a can. They can't take a full fuel load under green. They'll lose too much time. But it looks like Pope took a full fuel load, so he's gonna make it on fuel. But he's probably that's a big maybe. But these guys running up front right here, these front 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 guys, I don't think they're going to make it on field. They've got to come in and just do a splash. Talk about working together well, though, and keeping it clean. Folks, if y'all are watching us and you're used to watching other leagues, you won't find any cleaner racing that you're seeing out here tonight. I mean, these guys have they put on one hell of a show. And for a plate track, you're not even going to see, when they put the real life NASCAR drivers in iRacing, put together one of these races. It's a caution fest. But these guys out here, they've run together a lot with each other, and it really shows. They're putting on a great show tonight.
Yeah, that they have. And I mean, not only that, but, you know, we're starting to get into the meat and potatoes of this season. And they do have that incident points per lap kind of average in effect here. And you know just how easy it is. Incident points at these super speedways, they can add up very, very quickly. And so really nobody wants to be put into danger kind of in this early to mid portion and maybe have to end up getting suspended or getting penalties that they really couldn't use right now.
Well, the great thing is that I think is one of the factors that helps keep the racing clean. You have an incident count limit per race. You know, it's 17x per race. If you get more than 17x, you're out. So I think that keeps the aggression level to a reasonable amount here.
I'd like to disagree. I don't think that's a certain point in the race. I think they threw all that out the window. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but you're saving it to the end, I think.
Yeah, I would try to, but there's stuff you get caught up in, you know. Limiting something to a point limit is, I don't know. You know, there could be debated all day.
Oh, yeah.
It may help, it may not. I don't know.
I'll argue with that. I'll argue that with you all day long. You know, that's something that we don't agree on. But, I mean, hell, that's the great thing about iRacing. There's so many variables you could swap around, like with tire sets, fuel, and that kind of thing. And even horsepower. You can take horsepower out of cars and put horsepower into cars. I mean, it's very customizable. And I think it really, they do a great job of putting it in the customer's hands as to what kind of racing experience they want to have. Oh, man. Big aggressive bump by the 204 into the back of the 211. So that didn't.
Yeah, totally. But I totally agree. I mean, it's customized how whatever individual league or whatever wants to run their race, they have full authority to do it how they want to. And that's just a work in progress with every league. And I think they've dialed it in pretty well here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's a reason there's a waiting list to get into this league. And you're seeing it right here. This kind of action, you know, followed by all the support off the track. The Vigilante Racing store. You can buy memorabilia on the Teespring site. So check that out. Check out the SoundCloud with it, the Vigilante Report on SoundCloud. It's the podcast for this league. It's run by Bittner and Anderson now. But you get a lot of great behind-the-scenes info as Bittner jumps down to the inside line. He's really salvaged quite a bit of his night tonight as he's moving up.
Slowly and surely, as we've been following this chase pack for a little bit now, being led by Dale Adamson in that 254, just outside of that top 10. They're slowly trying to get caught up to the main field here as Timothy Pope was able to find some partners out there with the 7 of Kilgore, who's kind of in that mid to late little pack, who's solid 12 seconds behind the main leaders here, as it looked like John Herzig losing quite a few positions there.
Yeah, right ahead of him, Osborne just had a hell of a run. He's going to head up there and help Jeff Snyder in the 999 truck. They've got a pretty good run here in this middle pack. 203 jumping out maybe to help him. Bill Adamson leading that pack. Doing a pretty good job. The 999 just jumped down in front of him. Very, very fluid situation in this middle pack.
What do we need to stack this thing back up? Because I guess we're going to need a caution.
At this point, that's kind of what it looks like, as Jess Vaught and Kelly Keel, who have been working together, it's probably seamlessly for at least the second half of this race. Now with 20 laps remaining, I mean, they're doing a heck of a job out there at the front, setting a very fast pace, and I mean, those are a couple of guys that are
wrecking. 203 just wrecked onto the apron, spinning.
No caution as Jess Vaught and Kelly Keel, Dustin Really coming down into pit road. You also got Dustin Really coming on down there as well. Ooh, boy, that was some nice immersion from the 211 who was coming out of the pits as those guys were coming in. So nice little pit lane action there, but that's going to be their final pit stop. We kind of expected it, but the 202 of Justin French, who's probably one of those guys that needs to come down. Same thing with Mike Adamson in that 51. He probably needs to come down with some help here. As man, I wonder what ended up happening with Jeremiah Burke that put him a lap down. I wonder if he got a speeding and pit road penalty too. But he's been racing up here in this front group quite a bit.
It's possible. We did see a couple of guys that came in, looked like they came in really hot. Shoot, I'm trying to remember the one that I saw fly through there a second ago. Pretty sure got a penalty. But anyway, Justin French going to inherit the lead, at least temporarily here, till him and Mike Adamson make their pit stops. So, what is it you like to say? This is the money stop. You've really got to not screw this up, especially since it's under green, because if you get a penalty here, speeding or entering or exiting the pit unsafe, you're going to have a pass-through or a stop-and-go penalty, and it's going to really, really hurt you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is called, that money stop. Because if you get it right, man, it could earn you a whole bunch of money. If you get it wrong, you're probably losing some money.
Yeah, well, Kelly Keel had a 2-second pit stop. Jess Vaught had roughly a 5-second pit stop. Obviously, they only got fuel, and we'll see if that was the money pit stop for them.
Man, that 202 of French, though, he's doing the right thing here. He recognizes that the truck in front of him is a lap truck. That's Albert Anderson riding around out there. And what he's doing is he's able to sit tucked in behind him, save as much fuel as he can. He's not going to make it to the end, I don't think. And I'm sure you guys agree with me, but every little bit of this definitely helps him out.
Yeah, I mean, might as well save what you can. You know, go 3/4 half throttle here. You know, he could get lucky. There could be a caution where there's a lot of trucks involved and end up in a good spot. But he just mentioned he's pitting this lap.
All right, so if he's pitting, I'm sure that the 51 of Mike Adamson's probably going to be jumping down there with him. Or if not, Adamson's waiting for teammate Albert Anderson there to come down pit road. Oh, no. So Justin French all on his own as he comes down into the pits. He's going to have to get back up to speed very quickly if he wants to rejoin one of these packs as they go around.
Either that or he's gonna need a freaking yellow flag and re-rack here. Man, that's a terrible feeling going in there by yourself like that.
He's got somebody coming down pit road now. It looks like he only took 2 right side tires on Justin French's 202.
Well, so as of right now, that 51, Mike Adamson out in front by 15 seconds. Everybody around him's all a lap down. He last pitted on lap 63 himself.
Oh, big wreck! Huge wreck!
Wrecking in one. Big wreck.
Big wreck. Oh, no. The 214 not getting involved there. You also saw the 84 Bittner, but that's that yellow that we were needing.
Austin Paul was involved.
Sure.
Oh, man.
A couple of guys got stuck on pit road when the caution came out. We heard Albert Anderson, one of those guys, on the radio.
So take a look as to what happened. Oh no, the 204. I don't know what happened with his truck. It acted like it was a blown tire, but it just snapped loose on him. And he got down into that bottom line, sending Bittner around, sending Douglas Camp around.
Austin Paul got collected in that.
Oh, yeah.
How strange was that? This is right after Chan the Man said, man, we need a caution. And lo and behold, something happened.
Do you think somebody has money on this? I know that's a fact in NASCAR. Somebody, one of the guys always stows the race, near the end.
I'll tell you what, I've never seen. Well, it's been a while since I've seen a car just snap crazy loose like that.
I mean, it could have been an internet.
It could have been a hardware problem, a wheel problem.
It was definitely strange, but he came down and he came down fast.
So the Goodweiser guys are going to come back down pit road.
And so we're going to sit here and watch to see what happens. But Mike Adamson, big beneficiary from that. He's able to, based on when he came down into the pits, he's now going to be maintaining that lead out in front. As we kind of watch this race coming off of pit road, Mike Everidge wins that race over Russ Kilgore. As I don't know if Justin French made it past that line in time to take that position away from those guys, but you also got John Ellis up there again. You got Timothy Pope all back up there again after he was pitting by himself. The 28 of George Rincon's up there, 33 of Jess Vaught, 29 of Dave Hot Rod Mayberry. The 214 Jeffrey Ottinger, all in that top 10. But
so
man,
pretty much the pitting's all done. Jeffrey Ottinger might be coming down one more time, maybe, and Rob Green. But I think besides those cats, I think most everybody's done with pitting here.
it does as. Everyone kind of gets back under themselves here, trying to just pace around. And normally I would say let's pull somebody in, but yeah, we're getting down into crunch time. They're probably talking to each other's teammates, trying to make a game plan here. So we'll let the drivers be at this moment in time and let everybody try to figure this one out. But man, unfortunately for Albert Anderson, not able to get his lap back. He was no longer the lucky dog at that point. So he is still stuck a lap down, and he's got some battling to do with the 88 of Eric Klafka.
So Dale Adamson is currently pitting, I think. I'm trying to find somebody if you wanted to pull somebody up.
He's coming out of pit road right now.
Simple.
Yeah, these guys probably need their eyes on the prize and ears on the prize at this point. We're finally honing in on this thing.
Yeah, we are, as the lights on that pace truck are off. We're going to be going back to green flag racing here. As long as the field can get all caught back up, I don't think we're going to have ourselves a Sonoma situation where people are having issues trying to get caught up to that pace truck. I think it looks like everybody's all caught back up, but man, I don't know who Jess Vaught paid off there, but he was able to shuffle back up here to the front. He's got the 37 of Dustin Reilly, who's very, very good at these plate tracks right there behind him. But that 202, man, he's sitting in a pretty good spot. He's got that 01 of Kelly Kill sitting right behind him once we go back to green flag racing here with going to be 11 laps remaining. And it's not going to be all spread out like we saw everybody here all the way back to 17th, all on that lead lap.
So remember early in the race where we were talking about when we thought the big one was going to happen? I don't think that was the big one. I think we're going to see the big one at about 5 or 6 to go. I think that these guys right now, they're metering everybody around them as they go green here. I'm sorry, bud.
That's all right. Green flag racing side by side. Everybody all stacked up. This field reset. Justin French down low on that bottom line. Just Vaught out there on that outside line. Both have very good pusher and plate track racers helping each other out. You also got that 7 of Russ Kilgore up there. You got the 82 of Everidge up there. You got the 728 of Pope up there. Man, oh man, is this thing stacked. As we head on down through this back straightaway here, not a single give in either line. And if you thought we saw some side drafting going on, I expect to see that racing get even tighter here.
Yeah, these guys, as I was saying, they're metering the people around them. They're trying to remember, did this guy help me earlier? Did he hurt me? Thinking back to other races.
Ooh, not quite clear. Just able to get clear. Maybe a little bit of a checkup there from the 202. Able to get that 37 down, as the 37 was not given up on that 33 of Vaught, thinking, man, he's going to be my best chance of maybe trying to sneak my way up here into the win. So those two take the lead of the bottom line. You got the 7 of Russ Kilgore now leading that top line with the 728 of Pope and the 29 of Dave Hot Rod Mayberry. Man, Dave Hot Rod Mayberry, that's a name we haven't said a lot tonight. He's been, I don't want to say putting around out back. He's just been keeping it safe, keeping it clean.
257 in the wall. 3 cars involved. Yeah, 3 or 4.
Oh, that's a 81 goes hard back across the track right in front of Dale Adamson. Ooh, man.
And they threw the caution.
So I was about to say, man, this is one of those races I'd love to be out there right now, involved in this and having fun racing. And then I saw some mayhem happen. I still like to be out there.
Look like Wes Endicott came down off the wall.
Yep, he was scraping the wall and came down. This is like what we did in ARCA, remember? When you get stuck on the outside wall.
That is exactly what happened. You had the 81 of Osborne involved there. Same thing with, like we said, Dale Adamson. Oh, goodness gracious. That is not good.
Yeah, if you're in the wall like that, you're going to have to hold it into the wall as best you can. It doesn't always work. Doesn't always work.
And Adam, it's hard to fight that instinct because you want to pull it off the wall. But as soon as you do, man, you're just jetting down.
Man, so
gravity working against you as well. Go ahead, Brown.
Someone who got lucky there is that 07 of Jack the Ripper Dixon. He was able to kind of shuffle his way through that whole mess. I'm trying to see who that was up there.
Ron Dixon joining us on Facebook says the big one will be with 4 to go. So he thinks that we're going to have another big one.
And you know what? That's definitely a possibility.
Well, if it's me and I'm out there and I'm anywhere near the front, I'm going to send it. And I'm going to turn whoever's in front of me. And I'm not going to have any friends.
What did Tony Stewart say? I would wreck my mom for a win. And then he would say, I'd wreck your mom for a win.
Yeah, I mean, it's true here.
Reporter. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean...
Wreck a teammate even.
Yeah, I'd try not to, but if it had to happen, I mean, I've been wrecked by teammates before.
You're never going to let me live Pocono down, are you?
Nah, I still have it saved on my computer.
I'm sure you do. Oh, we got a few takers on pit road here. Probably guys that are got nothing left to lose now. Matt Fornes joining us on YouTube. Thanks for joining us, Matt. He said there's some good racing out there tonight. You know it, brother.
Yeah, that is a certain fact. Well, while we do got that little bit of time, if you guys want to pull up one of these guys, I would say go for it.
Let's see. Who do I want to talk to? Let's see. I'm scrolling.
Burke or Albert would be a good one. Douglas Camp would also be probably another good one.
I'm looking through names on here trying to find. Some of these guys aren't in Discord, so I'm having some trouble.
Oh, here. Well, let's pull up that 753 of Jeremiah Burke here.
Okay.
So we got that Limitless Esports 753 Jeremiah Burke up here in the booth with us here tonight. Jeremiah, man, little bad luck. Did you end up getting a penalty early on that kind of put you the lap down where you are right now?
Yeah, I kind of hit the gas a little too hard, and I just want to say you almost caught some really juicy stuff right there.
Oh.
We try to time it just right.
Good thing I got this new overlay on here. I saw you guys pop up and shut up.
Well, man, you guys at Limitless Esports have been working really good as a team out there tonight. That's definitely looking like it's been the way to go. I know you and Albert and Dale having a little rough night, but you also got a teammate up there with Mike Adamson up there in that 51. Yeah. He's been having a great night.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to try to push him to the win, and if we happen to have a caution and I can get the lucky dog out of this, we'll be back in it. But Limitless needs to win this, so we'll do what we can to do it.
Well, good job pushing tonight, and good luck the rest of the way tonight, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, guys. I know it's been a rough start this year, but glad to talk to you at least a little bit tonight.
Yeah, man, anytime, and I know you're stacking up here, so we'll let you go. But yeah, enjoy this final few laps. It looks like it's going to be a good one.
Thank you, sir. You guys enjoy. Have a good one.
So, man, look at that. We know how to time things. We know how.
Oh man, just barely.
just barely.
I wish we could have gotten more guys up in the booth tonight, but just the pace of this race and the amount of strategy and guys talking to each other and pitting and all. It's just been hectic.
And do some of them really want to talk to us? You got to take that into consideration too. They're busy plotting and scheming, trying to win this thing. Why do they want to talk to three idiots? Two idiots anyway. Sorry, Brown. I included you.
That's all right, as we got that 33 of Vought going to lead this one off. He's going to have that 37 of Dustin really to his outside. Those two were working together. Let's see if that pairing works together here once again. 5 laps remaining. Green flag racing once again here at Daytona, man. This one is coming down to the wire. Hope your bowl of popcorn still has some popcorn in it, because you're going to be munching on that thing a lot. You also had that 7 of Russ Kilgore trying to get up there and push that 33, as the 202 of Justin French has been putting in the work all race long. He's got the 01 of Kelly Keel helping him out, try to push that top line right behind that 37. As, man, that whole top line. Oh, here's that big one. Oh, man, we got trucks going in outer space.
Kilgore went to outer space again.
So did French. Oh, no, the 203 and the 01 of Kelly Keel hitting the inside wall.
The number 7 truck is dead.
That was with 4 to go. So Ron Dixon, talking about the big one, I think we can say that was unequivocally, undeniably the big one.
Oh, 100%. And you know what? That was all caused by a tiny little issue up here at the front. You had some trucks. You had Dustin Reilly, who was able to actually sneak out of this one, trying to get a better camera angle of this. Snag the outside wall, caused a huge top line checkup. Everybody scattered. You had the 7 go up to the moon, and then everything went all helter-skelter back here. Let's see if we can't get a good nose cam.
French got a piece of the wall right before that happened. It was unrelated, but he still went into space.
And well, didn't Kelly come down and nick Kilgore, and that turned into just absolute carnage.
Damn, boy. Call the ambulance for a couple of them cats.
That's the big one. That's the actual big one.
That was a big one. We, like you said, had Kilgore and French go out into the moon. Man, we were hoping And they had put those days behind them for the 7, but unfortunately getting caught up with it there. However, this is going to put some of those guys that were a lap down. They might have a secondary shot at this thing, as Kelly Keel able to just beat that pace car out of pit lane. Goodness, that was pretty close. Kelly Keel, he was definitely looking to be one of our favorites here tonight, as he had a getting involved in that one a little bit. I mean, we saw Mike Adamson get involved in that one a little bit as well. He ended up coming down pit road, maybe getting some of that damage fixed. And, ooh, goodness gracious!
The 2 truck is your lucky dog. Just got his lap back.
Oh, America's driver, Albert Anderson, is. So you're saying there's a chance my man can win? Yes. I mean, I don't know. I'm not supposed to go for anybody in particular, but
Yeah.
I have an affinity for Albert Anderson.
Peyton McGowan.
American truck.
Peyton McGowan says that I think the aliens got a few of them guys, snagged them out of the air as they went flying up.
I'm telling you.
And Lofi Evans also says, well, that puts me out for the night. Man,
Yeah.
wow, what a horrendous crash.
Yeah, I guess Earl Evans was toast as well on that. Hey, you would have definitely had some.
Well,
the medical examiner would have showed up instead of
yeah, for sure. Been a couple of coroner vans showing up as Ron Dixon says, "Darn, I hate being right. I hope the 07 of Jack the Ripper Dixon missed the big one." I think he may have.
He's still up there.
Yeah, he's up there in the top 10.
Top 10 spot.
And if you're in 10th here, you could actually win this thing. I'm telling you, we're going to have a green-white checker. Anywhere near the front, you could win this thing. We've seen it happen before, English. You've done it before. It's
and
just
this
crazy
is
how those innings are.
And this is it. This is for all the marbles, folks. There is one attempt at a green-white checker. That is all we're doing. One attempt. What is it, Brown? Go over the rules of a green-white checker. If these guys take the white and they get a caution afterwards.
No, once when the white flag comes out and the leader crosses that line, that's it. No more cautions. No matter what happens, you're racing to that finish line to try to get yourself a good finish here tonight as we get all stacked back up on this back straightaway. Everybody all the way back to 17th still has a chance to win this thing. Dustin really out in front on that bottom line. Jess Vaught out there on that outside high line. He's got the 728 of Pope behind the 37. You got the 29 of Dave Hot Rod Mayberry right behind that 33. The 221, John Ellis is up there. Same thing with the 84 and the 82 of Bittner and Everidge all up here, looking to maybe snag a win to get this kind of second. I wouldn't say we're half. Like we're about a quarter, a third of the way through this season, trying to get some momentum rolling here as the pace truck goes down. It's time to buckle up, strap on that drinking helmet, throw inhibition out that window, because we are green flag racing here. Green, white, checker finish to put this one away, trying to get this one in officially under this green flag. Man, look at those two pink trucks, the 37 and the 728, working really well together here on that bottom line, trying to get out in front of that 33 and the 29 team on that outside. You also had that 221 working on that inside as well. You got Jeffrey Ottinger trying to sneak his way up in that 214 with the 07 with Jack the Ripper Dixon as well. He jumps out to that outside line, trying to join the fun out there and help that outside line get a big old run, as, man, Dustin really, with the help of Timothy Pope, get way out in front now. Man, that top line needed to form up as Jess Vaught slams down into that bottom line. So we're going to be taking this white flag here. No more cautions. It is ending at the end of this lap. The craziness, man, it's about to ensue. The 728 of Pope all over that back bumper as we got crashing going on behind this main field. Oh, it's going to be a big one, but we still are racing here all the way to the end. You got the 33 of Vaught looking back to that outside line. He's got some help from that 28, so we're side by side here going into turns 3 and 4. The 28 of George Rincon trying to push him to a win. This is when teammates really matter here. Crashing here behind the leaders. We're going to be drag racing down here across the line. The 37 of Dustin Reilly with the big help from Timothy Pope picks up the win. Jess Vaught picks up second with Tim Pope finishing here in third.
What a huge wreck right there. It took out, you can almost say that was the big one on the last lap.
Yeah.
Of course, there's no caution.
Wow.
And Ron, sorry, Jack Dixon was definitely involved in that last wreck, but Kelly Kill, a couple of other front runners also involved in that. That was bad luck for a couple of guys.
What about the top 5 there? Timothy Pope really pushed Dustin really pushed to the win there, man. What a job by Pope and the number 37 of Dustin Reilly.
Earl Evans telling us, Dustin and Pope, both great pushers. He's Lofi Evans. He's the one that got knocked out here a couple wrecks ago. But what a well-deserved victory for Dustin Reilly. I know it's been a long time coming for him to get a race win, especially at a big track like this, Super Speedway. So good on him as they set it up for the picture for the top 3 right here at the finish line. And the boss man himself, Jess Vaught, finishing in second. Started way back in 21st spot. So we had a couple of really great hard chargers tonight. George Rincon, one of those guys that started way back in 25th and finished 4th, just outside of the podium.
Yes, indeed. As we still have some things to take care of. I hope you tally up all the votes there for
yes,
your,
sir. I got it.
Fan of the race. Well, we got 3 button clicks to figure out who's going to be our lucky random driver here tonight. Unfortunately, a couple guys I don't believe finished, so we ended up having 28, I believe, finish here tonight. So we're going to hit this button 3 times, and that will be the finishing position of the lucky driver of the day. And we're going to go right now. 1, 2, and 3. I believe that is the 26th place finisher of the 3, Austin Paul. Man, Austin Paul, he's been winning it a lot lately. So congratulations, Austin.
Everybody gets money here.
Albert Anderson Jr. on Facebook is your fan of the race, and Austin Paul is the random draw winner. So congrats to those 2 cats. Albert Anderson Jr. is Albert Anderson III's dad, and he watches on Facebook on the stream. So he is our fan of the race.
Yeah, it's a family tradition to watch America's driver put on a good show tonight.
Yeah, so while we sit here, kind of have Dustin really enjoying the victory that's been a long time coming, let's start off the interviews here. We got the 728 of Timothy Pope, who is our 3rd place finisher here tonight. Tim, congratulations on that 3rd place finish, man. I know it was hard fought. You at one point were pitting by yourself and just kind of lucky to find a pack to hang on to, but a couple of late cautions there able to get you all caught back up, man. Talk about how great of a run it was here at Daytona, because I know things were looking really, really good. A lot of green flag laps being put in.
Yeah, when we had that last caution, I knew it was going to get very interesting real fast. But yeah, I stayed out there on that. I didn't pit. I stayed up a lot longer because I was going to try to stretch it to the end on gas if we didn't have a caution. But we had that caution there.
Well, I bet you're going to be glad when we get away from the super speedway racing and get back to some technical tracks. But talk about next week, man. Everybody's looking forward to it too. Michigan, once again, we see a lot of Michigan racing on iRacing, and it's never disappointing. It's always a lot of fun. How are you at Michigan? I mean, you seem like one of them cats that's probably done it a time or two.
Yeah, I love Michigan. All of us do, I believe. But yeah, I'm pretty good there.
Well, if you're pretty good there, that's going to be scary for the competition. So, hey, good job pushing out there tonight. Didn't get the win, but I think you'll take a podium. Congrats, man.
Yeah, I'll take it at the last two races at the restricted plates last season. I'll take it third.
Yes, sir. Well, again, congrats on that third. Before we let you go, got any shout outs or anything like that you want to put out there?
Vigilante for putting the races on as always, and Nowski Nation.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm sure we'll see you again later on this season, probably most likely next week. But, man, again, congrats on that third place finish here, Tim.
Thank you.
Oh, man, sorry about that.
So now we'll move on up to our second place finisher, and that's going to be that 33. As trying to get him up here. Give me a second. There we go. That 33 of Jess Vaught coming in second here 2 weeks in a row, Jess. So looking pretty good here this season. I know last season wasn't going your way, but it is definitely working out for you now. Just in that last lap drag race to pick up the win. But, man, you got to be happy with how this race went on because you were out in front a good chunk of it once again. Just a couple late cautions there, and everything got stacked back up, and it really made this race interesting.
Yeah, bridesmaid again. In the words of Bubba Wallace, I'm pissed. So I would say I'm happy with second place, but I don't think any racer's ever happy with second place. But it's been good, though. I'm taking stock. It's been a good season so far, and I'm hopeful that continues. And I hope that this was a good, entertaining race for the fans. I know maybe in the middle it was but a little dry maybe with the pit strategies, but that's really fun for the race car drivers or the race truck drivers. But yeah, second place again, man. We'll see if we can get the W sometime soon.
And that strategy is fun for us to watch. And we had some folks engaged in social media that were really trying to figure out what was going to happen and giving their predictions. So it really is a lot of fun for us to watch as well. The new rule with the EOLs for the following race for the podium finishers, it really didn't affect you tonight. I mean, you started in 21st and were able to make it back up to second place. Is this a rule y'all are going to stick with? Because it seems like it really is helping some guys to be able to move up a little bit better. We still saw Tim Pope up there with a solid third, but it does seem like it helps with a little bit of parity.
Yeah, this is a rule we're going to stick with. I like it because it gets different folks up at the front an opportunity to, be up there and shine. But you got guys like Pope. He's talented and he'll come back up through there most of the time. However, you're throwing all these variables in there. He could tap the wall. He could get hit by somebody else. So it's not going to work out every time for him. And yeah, so me starting in the back this week, if there's this track I want to start in the back at, it's probably this one, the Super Speedway, because you guys know, you saw it tonight, how things can get shuffled up very quickly.
Yeah, that indeed. And I mean, not only that, but it also goes to show tonight, you had to have teammates helping you out. I mean, we saw, the Limitless guys all pitting together, and even then they still had some mistakes down pit road. Same thing with Goodweiser, same thing with the Vigilante Omegas, everybody having to try to work as a team. And you had one teammate kind of there behind you, Kelly Keel, man. He was pushing everybody all night, but he was definitely pushing you up there at the front for that kind of middle to late stage of this race. It's just unfortunate for him to kind of get caught up in that last little wrecks there.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I mean, we had a team going there. Me and Kelly, we work together all the time, and now Dustin's kind of come into the fold. And I want to especially congratulate Dustin. That's his first win in Vigilante Racing League for an official race, and he did an outstanding job tonight. And he was a very good teammate. Him and Kelly both. I feel like we were in great shape there before like those last couple of cautions. I think it was going to come down to three of us in the end, fighting for the win, which is what I would have preferred, but that's how the cookie crumbles. And then on and off pit road tonight, I thought that the three of us, and I'll have to go back and look at the broadcast, that we were pushing on limits, but I thought it was good and efficient, and that's what it takes to win here.
And man, you guys were right there at it. Congrats on the second place here tonight. Before we let you go, got shout outs and any of that stuff?
Yeah, again, shout out to my 2 teammates tonight, and then shout out to my wife, Lori. As always, a wonderful supporter of what we do.
Yeah, Lori, you did a great job here tonight. Thankfully, they made your life pretty easy there. A lot of green flag laps, so nothing too crazy out there. But as always, you do a fantastic job.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. It was a really interesting race. It seemed like it was kind of like 2 races in one.
Yeah, that it was. Well, we thank you guys, and look forward to seeing you guys here again next week. And Jess, continue this train. You'll pick up the win here this season at some point, buddy. You're due for it.
Thanks, guys, and appreciate you guys as well. Thanks.
Let's get our winner in here, boys.
No, not yet. Don't jump the gun.
Oh, okay. We're gonna do the random draw.
We gotta let Dustin, soak this one up a little bit. So we'll head on to our lucky driver of the day. That 3 of Austin Paul, man, you're picking up money left and right with these lucky draws. You're looking pretty good out there, but not the finish you wanted. Little heartbreak there, kind of towards the end, finishing here in 26. But still, it looked like it was a pretty fun night out there.
Yeah, I would say the unluckiest thing about it was the racing. The luckiest is winning this thing. This is 2 times in a row I've won by racing, but it was not my day today. It wasn't our team's day. We had a strategy. It worked out pretty well until that first caution came out, and then we went out again. But then when we came back out, there's about 15 cars to our 4, so we got about 15 seconds behind. And after that, it just went all downhill. And then we tried to do a different strategy, and then got back on the track, and then one of the cars turned hard left on me and just Harded me in the wall. So,
well, sometimes when you try to switch up your strategy, you end up eating a crap sandwich. I mean,
yeah, that's what it was, and it's just like you pile about 15, 16 drivers in there. That makes that crap sandwich taste pretty bad.
For sure.
So let's say our strategy tried to stay in the back. Didn't really work out. We just you know what? We'll try to see if it works. And then we realized we're in the back with some guys we're not used to racing with, and we're like, maybe this wasn't the right idea. But oh well, we tried it. Didn't work out. But we live to fight another day, and I guess I get to go home with something.
You do get to go home with something. Well, Austin, we're happy to have you up here in the booth. Hopefully one of these days it's when you get yourself a podium finish. And before we let you go, you got any shout-outs or anything like that?
Yeah, shout-out. Actually, just to say, I got a podium the first week. I got, I think, 2nd or 3rd. Can't remember.
I think
I said this is.
yeah.
I say I'm usually up here every now and again. I'm usually top 5 or not top 10, top 15 usually when I race. But this one just wasn't my day. But no, shout-outs to obviously my wife, my team. Gotta love them. We tried something, didn't work out. We gotta we'll get better, and we'll take it like we always do every week and try hard.
Awesome.
Well, Chandler was pulling for you tonight, and good luck next week at Michigan.
Yeah, thank you. That's a track that I really like. Hopefully Chandler might be racing with us a couple weeks. I gotta say, good thing for Jack and Josh almost had a shot there at the end, but it just stuff happens, and stuff hits the fan, and there's nothing they can do about it. But glad to always be up here with you. I'm good to talk to you.
Awesome. Yeah, we appreciate it, man, and good luck here next week and the rest of the season, buddy.
Thank you. 10-4 Rubber Duckies, band it out.
2 different movies.
And no kidding. Well, he's been waiting long enough for the win and this interview. That's that 37 of Dustin Really using all of that big show experience, finally getting the win here tonight.
Yeah.
His first win at the Vigilante Racing League, and it's a big one here at Daytona. Dustin, congratulations. It looked like it was definitely hard fought out there, and it also looked like it was a heck of a lot of fun for you.
It was a battle.
And look, don't let anybody take away from your first win here and say, well, it was a plate track, because we see you come close all the time. And finally, the karma machine came around, and you were able to take this win. And talk us through it. Talk us through your strategy tonight.
Just stay clean, run up front most of the time, get back to front when pit cycles, cycle back around. Just try to stay up with Jess and Kelly. We're pretty strong here when we get together. And just get good green flag pit stops, don't have no penalties, have some luck too. And then at the end have somebody like Pope. Pope's one of the best pushers you can have behind you. So when I seen the grid on the restart, I'm like, oh yeah.
We saw Kelly Keel out there too. Was one, man, you talk about a pushing machine. And y'all were racing around each other quite a bit tonight, but he fell victim to one of the late wrecks. Were you waiting on the big one? I mean, is that kind of one of the things that the big one's going to come, so just have the best track position you can get. If you're up in front, maybe it'll happen behind you. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah, I like to be up front all the time. I like to truck off up front. I think when you're up front with, like, our league especially, you're with the good guys. You're with the guys that's got sense and try to hold, like we all went single file, pretty quickly, right? Yeah. We get it. Yeah. Log laps, get to the end, then race. So that was my strategy. Just try to be clean and draft each other and try not to lose ground coming out of pits, because you can lose a draft with your group.
Well, you did a great job of that here tonight, Dustin. Like I said, man, you've been racing a lot of these plate tracks really, really well, but man, getting your first win here at Vigilante must feel pretty sweet here tonight. Because I mean, you were here with us last season, and I mean, you did really well when they did the Pro 4s, those off-road trucks and whatnot, but.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah, but man, it now in like the official season here and picking up the win, especially with the talent level that's out there. I mean, anybody on a given night can win one of these races, and finally it was your time, man.
Yeah, these plate tracks is really my only chance. Maybe Michigan. Usually I'm not good at saving tires, and that's our league. I save tires. That's something I got do better at, trail braking and saving tires. And I just got to put some laps down over the years and get it. But yeah, plates is where I don't know. I just love it, and I'm good at it. I'm not trying to brag, but that's just what I'm good at. And I needed this for points, just to help me get up into points. So good week.
Yep, it was a great week, man. Well, before we let you go, you got any shout outs or anything like that you want to put out there?
Yeah, just, our league and, Bittner with VigilanteRacing.com. We got some shirts on there and stuff of our league. If people want to go in there and get some, and just want to shout out to y'all. Y'all do a good job every week, man, broadcasting.
Appreciate it, man.
We definitely appreciate it. And that actually reminded me, when's your real life racing starting up there, buddy? I know that card must be looking pretty good and ready to go.
It's not ready to go yet. We're trying. I'm actually fixed to put it back in the shop. We're going to go in and make the steering be collapsible, where if something happens, the steering will collapse on me instead of coming and hitting me in the chest. So we're going to get that back in the shop and get that right. I want to be safe in real life, just like in the game. I want everything to be right with my car, because that's what it takes. Because our class is so competitive, just like here. I want my car to be right when I get to the track. So if it takes me a little while, I'm hoping this summer. Spring and summer, but the tracks will be there. When I get there, it'll be there.
Awesome, man. Well, we can't wait for that. Congratulations on the win here tonight. Good luck the rest of the season, and hopefully we can see that 37 truck in that. I think it's a late model or street stock that you're doing.
It'll be a street stock.
Let's see that 37 street stock bring it home in real life as well, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Gotta love some real life racing, man. I enjoy it.
Absolutely, and man, oh man, with that brings Daytona to a close, and that is kind of the racing that we were almost expecting, but not expecting. We knew these guys were gonna probably take it easy the first few, and we saw that single file action early, and then it went to too wide, and even when it was too wide, it was pretty patient. Really nothing too crazy or drastic. Everyone's just kind of cruising around, running their line, and that's what you get. You get the whole mixed bag of green flag racing. You get the crazy cautions. You get trucks going to outer space. You get drag races here to the finish, and that's what all these plate track races are all about.
I wasn't kidding when I said that this was more exciting than the race we watched last Sunday. I mean, this was a blast to watch. These guys are very competitive. Some of them are really, really great at what they do as far as pushing. And look at the line these guys hold. As amateurs playing a video game that simulates real life, they do one heck of a job. And week in, week out, they never disappoint. So, Vigilante Racing League, man, you guys got to watch this stuff every Wednesday night. It's can't miss. It's must see TV, as they say.
Yeah, well, it was super cool tonight, and also check out Vigilante Report on SoundCloud. You can get all the insider information on this week's race. So check that out. I had a great time. I think you hit the nail right on the head there, English.
Well, while we slowly wind this one down, let's go through and talk about our finishing order here tonight. And that starts us off with that 37 of Dustin Really, able to pick up his first win here at Vigilante. So congratulations, Dustin, bringing that Toyota home. You also had that 33 of Jess Fott coming in second here once again, but up 19 spots. So he definitely earned that second place, and I'm sure we'll see him up there in that victory lane this season at some point as well. You had that 728 of Timothy Pope also drive up through this field, up 16 spots to finish there in third. And then your hard charger of the day, the 28 of George Rincon, putting in a couple back-to-back solid finishes here last week at Sonoma, now this week here at Daytona, up 21 spots in fourth. So great job there, George. You also had that 221 of John Ellis, man. He is definitely looking like he's going to be a force to reckon with here, up 15 spots in fifth. Hot Rod Dave Mayberry getting the best finish, I think, of the year for him. He's in sixth here tonight, followed by the 51 of Mike Adamson in seventh. Dale Adamson able to come back from a bunch of pit stops and accidents and whatnot, up 19 spots himself to finish here in 8th, followed by the 214 Jeffrey Ottinger in 9th. And rounding out tonight's top 10 is the 15 of Jeff Green.
The number 2 truck of Albert Anderson, America's driver, started on the pole today and finished up in 11th. Got a lap back late in the race, but not able to capitalize, but still a solid finish for the 2 truck. 84 of Josh Bittner started way back in the back, but made up a lot of positions and finished in 12th today. John Herzig, another solid finish for the 14, as he starts in the back as well and finishes right in the middle of the pack. So John had one heck of a run. The 999 of Jeff Snyder started right back there with him. Kind of the same story we see with these 3 guys. You know, they started way back in the back and finished right at 11 spots, 12 spots ahead of where they started. So great job, guys. The 82 of Michael Everidge, one of your Goodweiser drivers, finishing your last driver on the lead lap in securing that 15th place finish. Jack Dixon, Jack the Ripper, involved in one of those late incidents. Him and Kelly Keel, who finished right behind him in 17th. Jonathan Osborne in the 81. All 3 of those guys finishing a lap down due to an accident on the last lap. Brian Chablonsky in the 17, finishing in 19th place. And rounding out your top 20, the 202 of Justin French. We saw him up front quite a bit, and man, we saw a little bit of what I thought was net code involving him. But man, it's dangerous out there in the pack. It doesn't matter if net code happens or not, Adam. I mean, it's danger's going to happen out there on these big tracks.
Well, I mean, it's Daytona, so that's crazy stuff's going to happen. Like 753 of Jeremiah Burke is 21st. 91 of Rob Green, 22nd. Number 4, Deion Jones, 23rd. 55 of Ricky Wittenberg, 24th. Number 3, Austin Paul. We talked to him. I got him 25th, 26th with Robert Jordan right there in the 204. 257 of Russ Endicott. I think he's got that Bad News Bears Chico paint. Chico bail bonds. I love that.
Yeah, he does. It's awesome.
27. 211 of Douglas Camp, 28th. Number 7, this guy, man, he deserves like a gold medal for how much he flew tonight and has flown in the past. Russ Kilgore, 29th. 88 of Eric Klafka had some issues, 30th. And then 31st to 203 of Earl Evans.
And that rounds out tonight's field from Daytona. We thank you all for tuning in and watching and having some fun with us, because you guys are the reason why we do this, is to hang out and talk with you guys and watch some great racing like we had here, as well as big thank you to D&D Racing Graphics. That would be Mr. Ricky Wittenberg himself. Anything with a flat surface, man, he'll paint you up a really slick, nice paint. He's even been dabbling with some of the road course cars, like the GT3s or even the LMP 2 cars. As they were starting to kind of get into that endurance racing stuff. So he's got some really great designs out there. I mean, at least 10, if not 15 or more trucks out here week in and week out end up having one of his paints on there. So you can definitely see the quality of work that he puts in. But not only that, but he puts in some extra time in the office there at Keller Williams of Johnson City, Tennessee. If you need a realtor, whether it be in that Johnson City, Tennessee area or across the country, give Ricky a call, and he can either help you out personally or help you find a realtor that is right for you. I know we heard a couple days ago that, or a couple, I think it was last week or the week before, where he said, man, you really got to get along with your realtor and find the right match so they can help you out the best that they possibly can. And he is one of those guys that can help you do that, across the country, to get you set up with one of his contacts, because those realtors, they know just about everybody anywhere, all the way pretty much in just about all 50 states. So go ahead and give him a call at 423-444-0454. Do not go at it alone, whether you're buying or selling a house. Get yourself a quality realtor. So that is doing it here tonight from Daytona. We thank you all for tuning in and watching. I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We look forward to seeing you on the next one.
We gone.
See ya.